we go. Okay. That was my fault. You didn't see anything. Totally professional on this stream. How's it going, Bella Thorne? I can honestly say I've never been called Mama before, but okay. How's it going, Nick? Bella Thorne sounds like something that should be from, like, a book. I don't know why. Anyway, today we are playing The Letter, which is a game that I've been playing for a little while. It's super slow, so I'm really tempted to drop it just because it's taking forever to get anywhere. And it's supposed to be a horror game, but it's really not that scary. So, regardless... Oh god. What did I... Oh god. There we go. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Oh, hey, look at that. Sleep comes easier tonight, and for the first time in a long time, I dream. Of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this to me is home. Oh, well, apparently that was like the shortest fucking dream ever. Might I just add that News 8 is always playing the same shit? Like, why even have the TV on if... Morning draws that bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends that I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it isn't for Ash's call last night, I'll probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair is a disheveled mess, eyes drowsy, and overall looking like he hurried to get out of bed. So me. Or fell out of it. Or both. He looks adorably rumpled this way. But I'm not going to tell him that. It'll only bloat his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash!
Makes a motion with his finger around his ear, tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers me with a slight raise of his hand, a yawn, and nothing more. That's pretty much me in the mornings. I know, right? This is like the longest letter ever, Thork. I'm actually tempted to drop this. Because, goddamn, there's like no scare in this scary. He's never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. Ha! There's the only reason why mornings are my favorite. Doesn't take long for us to reach our destination. The fucking birds! Doesn't take long for us to reach our destination. Small cafe, Sudan, Luxembourg business streets. The same one I often visit with Becca for its cheap food. Never gone here on a Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekday and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back at home, near the university I used to attend. Why is my... When did that happen? Hold on. There. It's better. Apparently I changed the setup of my stream, and now, like, shit's just, like, falling apart. Wonder what happened to it. It was being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place has always had a calming effect on me. Yeah, I've actually been very tempted to play Before the Dawn, or Before the Storm. I played Until Dawn, and I've seen Little Nightmares, but I don't know, it's weird. But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, anxiety easily washes over me as soon as I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before thanks to my work, but still, I don't know him. In spite of the fact both Ash and Becca have vouched for him, what will he think of me and my story? What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw in a breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant steps forward, and then Ash is suddenly pulling me back by my elbow.
Hold on, scaredy cat, not too fast.
Okay, you can't call someone a scaredy cat when they're trying to go do something. Oh, true. Without warning, he flicks my forehead hard.
That hurts! What was that for?
It's already walking away when I look up, and I hurry to catch up with him, puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least, explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. It's so rude.
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything.
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were okay last night either.
Huh?
What was that last one? Hey! Don't just ignore me!
All questions and retorts die on my mouth once he opens the door to the shop. A cast iron bell attached to it chimes softly, announcing our arrival. You have a good point, Thoric. Someone did put time and effort into this game. The smell of freshly brewed coffee comes to us as soon as we step in. How's it going, Cuervo? This guy has no face. This guy has no face. And this woman has no face. I suspect they are all mannequins. How's it going, River? That is the twist. All mannequins. Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for the patrons. But most of the customers present at the moment have forgone them in favor of the more comfortable throw pillows and bean bags the staff has laid out on the floor. Becca would love to know they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time now. Oh, look at him. He's so old and refined. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and a book.
Professor Clark.
Might have moved a bit quicker if they used shorthand on their letter.
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
Detective Inspector. The guy, Andrew, looks up from his book and gives him a smile. A sheepish look crosses Ash's face at the older man's admonishment. You know, it also would go really fucking faster if they stopped describing every single thing that anyone does. More unusual, to say the least, is seeing him appear like a parent that just scolded him. But it suggests a familiarity between them, one that goes beyond what someone expects from a simple student and mentor. With another warm smile, he gestures for us to take the empty seats opposite to him.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time. But I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here.
Bear claws.
I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
Soon enough, the waiter brings us 2 more cups and sets down a basket of pastries.
Aren't you going to introduce the lady?
Ah, right, sorry.
His voice doesn't really fit either.
Isabella, this is Prof. Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
Inspector, detective, criminologist, investigator, bounty hunter.
Filipina, actually. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Ah, your name carries a lot of history, Miss Santos. Just Andrew is fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
Ashton. Doesn't listen to anyone. The awkward tension typically present in first meeting dissipates after that. I was expecting someone strict and, to an extent, someone severe. But Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what I had in mind. The more personable kind, similar to a grandfather who dote on you at family gatherings. Oh, I want a grandfather. Both of my grandfathers are dead. It's obvious why Ash has taken a liking to him.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with. Let's hear it then.
Yeah, she doesn't look Filipino, does she? But then again, we have a girl who's apparently British with bright pink hair, so... I give Ash a hesitant glance, but he just nods and gestures towards Andrew with his head. He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell, after all. I keep it short and concise. Oh, thank God. I found a letter in this old mansion, and now I'm cursed. Exactly as I've told Ash and Zach when they asked about it. I don't mention the name of the place. No use saying it now. Someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my problems.
I'm sure it's that letter I found. But I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Ansel Village, aren't we?
How did you...
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating nonetheless.
I do love haunted places.
It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me.
He died because he was haunted.
Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those
They do
stories,
talk for
sir?
me.
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history. And it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
That's actually true. I do like the sociology behind mythology, because it actually does speak a lot for what the culture itself believes in.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing, in the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
Oh, he sounds like a young man trying to be an old man, and it really kind of bothers me. Like, something just doesn't sound right. My head is starting to spin from all this information. Really? Already? Not a smart one, are you? I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. It's still too much to take in at once. I look to Ash for help, but his eyebrows are drawn in a frown. If he keeps staring at me, or staring like that at his cup, I'm pretty sure it'll crack soon.
There's still something you're not telling.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights, then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Rights. Luke and Hannah, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
Ah, I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want when they set their eyes on it.
How do you know this? Like...
From what I've heard, word gets around, especially with a pretty well-known couple like them.
Yes. Such sexism and ageism. A heavy sigh escapes my lips. Popular or not, they're just my clients, albeit a little pushy, but just clients, end of story. What it is again that Becca does when dealing with a particularly difficult child? The pesky, annoying kind? I wish I can remember. I can certainly use the same trick right about now.
Ashton, look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
I can see the cutout around your hair.
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
About a week from now? It depends on how long the papers will take, but they want us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yeah?
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Boy! Oh lord, even my younger siblings aren't this difficult to deal with. Then again, Ash is far from a younger sibling to me. If he'll only spell it out, surely I'll understand. We won't even be having this conversation right now. That's how it is, right? Find an even ground, talk about it like the adults we ought to be. It wasn't like this before, but somewhere along the way, something has changed in us as people, as friends. somebody lend her a finger. I'm very concerned by what that means. I wish there's a way I can tell them when or why. Instead, I'm left searching blindly for reasons. Next thing we know, we'll be drifting further and further apart. Frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student?
I wouldn't know. I haven't really looked into Rule 34 for this game.
I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much about that.
Oh, do we really have to go into this right now? Isabella. Fucking plot. Plot points. Move.
And there's a reason why.
Move the plot.
Please don't.
How do you broadcast on phones? I have no idea. I think you actually need like a third-party software. I don't broadcast on phones. And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of our small conversation, thank God, Ash looks like he's praying for the ground to swallow him up. He's never been one to talk about himself. Bye. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I gleaned over the years. He's an atrocious singer, he's bad at art, he has a personal vendetta against mornings. Now it feels like he isn't that hard to figure out after all. It's past noon, and fucking forever, when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. But before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice. If this is truly what you think it is, just keep in mind that when it comes to cases such as this, they aren't always what they seem.
Ooh, foreshadowing on the fact that the Onryo is actually trying to find help and isn't a bad guy after all. Naturally, the mansion and the letter was brought up again several times during our talk. And though Ash is right, is that Andrew offers a different perspective. He has left me with more questions than answers instead. What is she? What does she want from me? Is she ever going to leave? No, she wants help. That's all she's been fucking saying is help me. I don't know, like... I was super interested in this game's concept, but it just pads out so much with unnecessary details. I don't need to know the way someone gestures or how her family life was. I don't need to know these things. I just need to know that he fucking gestured for them to sit down and then they talked. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different turn on her way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we going?
He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a small, nondescript food stall, a little ways away from the movie house. If I'm not paying closer attention, I'll miss without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets off the car. Was he on top of the car? And walks in its direction. Sheesh, if you really want to buy something, just say it. No need to make yourself look mysterious. Makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait isn't long, however. Soon he's walking back, holding 2 fish-shaped cones in both hands. Ice cream? Parfait? Cross of the 2? By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up any effort to figure out what he's bought. Not that it looks bad, it's actually quite cute.
Here, take it.
I have to move my head back a little when he thrusts it at me, to avoid the ice cream and the fruit toppings from ending up on my nose.
What's this for?
It's adorable.
My arm's getting tired. 5, 4, 3, 2,
With a wary glance, I take it off his hands. Still don't understand why there's a need for ice cream today. Yeah, I completely agree, Neverstar. They seem like they actually wrote a novella and then tried to make it into a visual novel without cutting out the ample amount of unnecessary description. When you have a visual medium, you don't need the addition of a ridiculous amount of description. Drobel sitting on the hood again. Nevertheless, I take a small bite. Ice cream equals nookie night. It's actually pretty good. Must have shown on my face because he chuckles as soon as I take another.
Saw the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try. It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
Because you're probably gonna die soon.
Do I need to have a reason?
Are you really going to ask me that?
Maybe because you're friends and he's actually trying to be nice. Or maybe he's trying to get laid. Either possibility. Here's the thing with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. Haggle, of all people who'd ask me for that. I'd have expected such requests from Becca, but Ash? Not at all. Why would you expect it from that? If I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with that expression on his face right now. Yeah, he tried to ask Isabella out, technically, on the last episode. He was like, do you think that you and I... And then he's like, oh, never mind. So, obviously, he wants to ask her out, and he's trying to be sweet on her, but she's kind of being a bitch. Because she's defensive as fuck. Because this entire time he's been flirting with her by teasing her, and she kind of hasn't seen it that way. I think he's starting to regret ever buying this.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah, I think so. Yeah!
I don't know.
Anyway, during the movie, we, that's to say, we... Shit. Should have written down something first.
Oh, now that's adorable.
Get to the point, Ashton.
Right. I'm sorry.
Wow. Someone is trying to confess a love to you. And you are just being a cantankerous old whore. Also, can I just point out Pocket Chibi coming soon? What?
I'm sorry for, not getting to the point.
He gave her the finger.
I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Who's a good boy?
Okay? That's all? That's all you're going to say?
You're forgiven. I forgive you.
You're not still angry, are you?
I understand.
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
Kiss him. Bite into the cone again. Small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve the heat crawling up my face. It doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at him. Why I'm feeling embarrassed over such a thing as an apology, I have no idea. It's not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him, and in that fraction of a second, it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. Silence is an awkward company when we finish our respective snacks. Basil, you were right in my way. There are words for this, for people like us, for understandings and sentiments like this, yet in this instant they don't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after, phrases unsaid, still hanging heavily in the air. Well, that was fucking disappointing. Hey, believe it or not, some girls find the, like, stammering, awkward boys kind of cute. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. Smell of food drifts from nearby food carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one will catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. Maybe I should try walking home today to get my mind off things. To try and find words somehow. I have cat hair in my nose. I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks, Ash, for today.
No problem. Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
People don't have any faces. What if, okay, every picture we have seen that is not of the characters that talk cat hair, have no faces. What if everyone is actually a mannequin, which is why they don't move, but the birds move, and everyone is in a fictional reality? Okay. She's never had a finger before. We both do. Mild, humid breeze brings the smell of dried leaves, warmed earth, and far-off distant memory. Fall starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people playing in the same parts, though not necessarily at the same time. Funny how, of all days, my brain chooses to remember it now.
Wait, Belle.
Ash exits his car. His strides are unsteady when he approaches me. Or maybe this is uncertainty showing. I'm not quite sure. He has never looked uncertain to me before. Always calm, always sure, always collected. He stops a short distance from me, close enough that he's within an arm's reach, but just far enough for his voice to be heard over decent small talk, if this is what he was going to be. He fumbles for something in his pockets.
Here, catch.
A small bag lands cleanly on my outstretched hand before it hits the ground. I raise an eyebrow at him and he responds by shrugging and stuffing both hands back into his pockets. It's a good luck charm? Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait, Papa said long ago. For once, this time, I listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, when he finds it again.
My mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said. I don't believe in this stuff now, but if it makes you feel safe since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one to carry around.
How's it going, Soul Eater? Perhaps at the moment, there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. Right now, I think I'm the best way I know how. I close the short distance separating us and give him a light punch on his arm. The gesture familiar in place of phrases one can't spin together or answer too early to seek out. Basil's
See,
like right in my way.
you can be pretty nice when you're trying.
This is a page from the never-ending letter. Does he? See, you can be pretty nice when you're trying.
I am nice.
I don't hear it.
When you're sleeping, but thanks for this.
Don't go losing it. It brings bad luck if you do.
Wait, are you serious?
I knew there's a catch. This asshole.
Yeah, that's what they say.
You did this on purpose, didn't you? Oh, I should have known.
Not entirely. But seriously, if anything happens, tell me. I'll be around.
Before leaving, he waves at me one last time. He's back to teasing me, back to our usual routine, back to what we're comfortable with. Theorist? What's theorist? nice guys never get to use the finger. Just hope I can keep them safe. Light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distinct smell of earth into the air. How's it going, eh? For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to stock up my pantry, too. Come to think of it, isn't there an art store that's opened recently near the park? Oh, the forest! I think I have plans tonight, but... Okay, so, new. Coffee. Okay. Relationships. Ashton likes me more. Okay. Yeah, Basil's now laying on the floor because it is super fucking warm inside my room. Like, dying warm. The cat's name is Baruthiel. No, it's not. It's Basil. Or at least that's what his collar says. It's an old name I give to my cat. Wait. It's an odd name to give to a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace, much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hand's every movement. Not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I'm not the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries, without the help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought these on the same time. Didn't even make it past the park to the nearest bus stop. Now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home they're considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
I had black cats. I love black cats. Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and sisters does that. Well, because they don't want to have to draw a cat. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mommy used to call me a little troublemaker before. Oh well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. Short breather, and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or cross my path.
Well, where's your owner, anyway?
Oh, Jinx and Bear. I love the name Jinx. I had a cat. Sadly, she had to be put down this year. But she was 15 years old. So she was actually like super old. She only had one eye because she had glaucoma and it caused her retina to detach because of high blood pressure. And she had hyperthyroidism, which she had to be given medication for. But she was the sweetest cat. I love her. I miss her. He has one, doesn't he? An owner? At least what the collar is for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of its paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets.
Yeah, she is talking to a cat.
I tried to bring one home before. A cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
It's okay. She was 15. It was her time to go. I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags lying beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
I'm glad Bear made a recovery. The cat, Bear. He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. A candy? You probably shouldn't feed a cat a candy. It could choke to death. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out for him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice, before...
Baruthia!
Oh. Oh, that cat looks fucking weird. Like a good, properly trained pet, Brethio responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCulloch. Hardly impossible to miss, what with her height. But most especially in the way she carries herself.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Never mind the pleasantries. Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Bruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Bruthiel's a she.
She? All this time I thought. The pause in conversation, this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Talk about her cat. Stick. I keep my tone cordial and warm.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have their own pets.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
She looks pissed.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
No, not at all. She's very sweet. Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell of several stories about it, and
Nothing has happened to me so far.
displeasure is evident on her face. Of course. I'd forgotten that for other people, black cats are an omen of good luck. Is that true? In Japan, are they good luck? There you go. Running your mouth off, Isabella. I just wanted to know more about the cat. I rack my brain for a way to remedy the situation, but she holds out a hand.
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so? It is good to see you again, Miss Santos.
Ooh. Salt, if I've ever heard salt. Complete dismissal, if I ever heard one. Watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she's forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion, with my clients, it's the rights, I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion. The
letter. The same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCulloch that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. Really, I kind of like her voice. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hasten to pick up all my bags I've left on the bench and ran as far as my legs can take me. That moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to be home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of that house, of her, my own cowardice. Ah, the bat! Oh, I want it! I want that sheep! Food tastes less appetizing tonight. But yeah, I like it. I like Miss McCullough's voice. A pity. One will think that someone who has been on a continuous binge of instant noodles will find a home-cooked meal like this enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. Let's see how. Marianne doesn't like me no more. It's hard when the thing you keep trying to forget keeps returning to the forefront of your mind. Distracts you, eats at you, devours you as she's eating. I wish this would stop. I wish it wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening.
Well, you know it's a chain letter, right? You just copy it and send it to other people? I could see that, Thork.
Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
Rose?
Discovered lying
Wait.
in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Wait, I thought Rose's last name was Santos. Why is it Cooper now? Something's finally fucking happening. No. No! This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen! No one's supposed to die! Those are just stories, right? No legends. That's what everyone's kept telling me, so why... And immediately I rushed... Oh, well, now it's just narration. Immediately, I rush to my study table and search at my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as it touches edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things right now. Right now. I need to call her. I need to call her! I was with her yesterday. I was just with her yesterday and she was okay. No. 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 It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her yesterday and a sob escapes me and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another they trickle down, weighed by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. Rose is the one who's dead. Same one I've been hiding from. The same one that has put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick up and tell me to turn down the waterworks and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Finally, the first fucking time things are getting intense. In a long time. Again and again I dial, whispering, praying, pleading.
Come on, Rose! Don't do this to me! Please pick up! I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
Anselm Butcher. TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone speakers. But in my ears I can only hear the screams. Her pleas. Her whispers. Help me. You're not safe. Oh, that's very sweet, eh? A buzzing sensation jolts me awake. My body wants to sleep still. I forgot what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly, I become... I become aware how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled-up position the night before. If I've ever slept at all. Memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Yeah, that TV never changes. Gone because of the letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else has gotten involved. I should have... The notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly, when I look at it. as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. In light of the recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy, and policies will all be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance log and sales reports for the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective managers for review. We are expecting everyone's cooperation. What if Rose is the killer? Possibly. I check it nevertheless out of habit more than anything. Actually, Cuervo, I found a way around that. I have figured out ways to dampen the audio. I also put in a cat door in my door so I can shut my door without Basil clawing the shit out of my carpet and ruining it. And I actually have been recording audio clips for various auditions. So I am back into voice acting now. I just haven't gotten any roles. If this were one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself to her office. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. On the other, the place itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. Maybe I'll just... I'll go to work. Hope you won't get me anywhere. This is just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile no matter how things get bad, and hope for the best. Although my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares at me. They sneer, they ridicule, like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it into my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. Yeah, curtains move ever so slightly, the TV flickers, so it gives you like pseudo movement. Somehow, I'll find a way to make things right. I have to, before it takes more people from me, even if I must do it on my own. The laughing cow never had a nose ring? I don't... Papers rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, today looks like a typical working day at Briar Realty Corporation. Except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has heard about it. If they missed Knight's report, they'll likely see it in the morning news, in the papers, or on various news sites on the internet. Yeah, people don't. Birds do. Water does. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth, as though the mere mention of Rose will be enough to trigger something in me. The Mandela effect? Is that the concept of split timelines? It's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. After lunch, my boss, blah, 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 blah. I was thinking of the Mandela effect. My boss calls me for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what this is about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I'll appreciate it more if he just shouts at me today. Anything is better.
I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights papers, and have been promised an ample compensation for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to. Anyway, if I want to forget. Hey, I'm Employee of the Month. Oh, God. Ugly cat. Oh my God. November 1st. It's gonna take fucking ever. Time flies when you do, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily like that.
The Luxbourne Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
Radio blares one recognizable name after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they? Still, I've got to check. Frantic, I turn my back to my desktop. The loud tapping of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of my shift as I look through everything. Background about the place, the history of its owners, list of employees hired under BRC, and I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff. They may have a lot of agents hired under their company, but I'll remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us on preparing the mansion for the open house. And the letters? No, that can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in the fraction of a moment. These people, Rose, the letter.
I need to... No, if it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. It's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe. Why don't my donation things do a thing? That doesn't make sense. What donate, what? My donation thing? So what, my tip jar? Or the actual donate, like, I'm very confused on what thing is this, what? I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but maybe there's still a way I can save them. Why are you donating to me? Did you donate at streamlabs.com/quitsgaming, or did you donate at PayPal? Because PayPal won't do anything. PayPal I have to manually put into there, but Streamlabs does something. The letter, my phone, papers, and anything that will be useful. I grab all of them and stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should... The noise cuts sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag.
Hello? Anyone there?
That's weird. Should have updated. Oh. Maybe in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person for certainly going to have a fit tomorrow and wasted company resources. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but... The clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction as I search for said object. Each stride my feet take also echoes throughout the empty workplace. How do I have shining rewards for people throwing money at me? I have like a little like scrolly thing like right there. And a cup full of stars. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 copies are already strewn on the ground. The paper tray also having been left ajar. Let me guess. It's the letter. Sighing, I pick up each and put it somewhere proper. The page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. Spooky! What finger? Thork, what are you on about? Also, I seriously don't know. Let me see if I can pull up my Streamlabs, because it should be working, considering that it was working fine when I tested it yesterday, and all of my things are showing up. Yeah, it shows that you donated, but for some reason it's not. Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, Maskino. It's supposed to show. I'm gonna have to figure out why it's not. I'm curious now. Well, now it's broke. Oh, there. Well, it did something, I guess. It's kind of bullshit. Well, that's my top donations, or my most recent donations. I don't get a lot of donations, okay? It really wasn't that recent. Anyway. Sheets crinkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted teeth. Boop. And that is the end of the time. Yeah, sure. Totally tapped into your account. Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out why the hell it's not giving any information, because, like, I notice that it's not mentioning any of the information as far as, like, it doesn't show any notifications. It's not giving me any events. It's not giving me any pop-ups. Huh. Well, that's kind of bullshit. What the fuck, Streamlabs? Okay. With that being said, thank you, Maskino, for actually donating. I also saw your comments, and I'm almost glad it didn't show up. But aside from that, I do like food. Aside from that, I'm all done for today. It is like the 23rd, 20, yeah, it's the 24th today. We have so many more days. But I don't think there are jump scares. Nothing's happened so far. With that said, I hope all of you have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. And the things that keep you entertained, hopefully. If you have time, why not check out our website at www.quitsgaming.com and join our Discord, where we have a small group of people who do voice acting, play games together, do live streams together, as well as you can get your live stream added to it. So I will see you on there.